Welcome back to Heart Talks with Anita Bahal. So, what are we talking about today? Fa la 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 la. Yes, you know what we're talking about? Well, I've decided that I'll talk about family because it's a wonderful time of the year when we all are meeting with family, friends who have become family, just enjoying each other's company, having fun, games, meals, just a lot of fun and laughter. And at this time of the year, I'm sure many of you are shopping for wonderful gifts to show gratitude, probably just meeting a friend to go shopping or to just have a beautiful drink or a beautiful meal. You just want to share this time of the year with hope, joy, and love. And it's wonderful, actually. If you are doing these things, it's wonderful. Also, at this time of the year, some people would be celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ and actually reflecting on the past year, which is also wonderful to do. I myself look forward to my social gatherings with friends and family to have wonderful meals and to share love and kindness, and of course with you all here on Heart to Heart Talks. So today, as I said, we'll be talking a lot about family. Now, as the end of the year grows closer, I'm sure a lot of you are, as I said, sharing a lot of love and finding time to go visit family. Probably some of you are actually going from one country to another to see your parents or your brothers or your sisters or visit your friends or whatever the case may be, going home for Christmas, as they say. And that must be really nice. And all of you probably are going to open presents together and you're going to share some wonderful laughs, and all the wonderful things that money can't buy, which is love and laughter. And today I wanted to talk a lot about family. And I wanted to say, please don't just wait for a certain time of the year to celebrate family, to celebrate loved ones. Because as you know, time is precious and none of us are promised tomorrow. Now, I don't want to get you all gloomy, but definitely, I want you to be real. I want you to understand that none of us are promised tomorrow. So in relations to family, when we were growing up, if you have been grown up in Trinidad and Tobago or wherever you are, we definitely have what you call the nuclear family, and we have the extended family. And you would probably have learned this in primary school or elementary school or middle school for those foreigners. Now, listen to that word family. What does it really mean in terms of just a basic meaning from the dictionary? So a family consists of mother, father, and children. This is called a nuclear family. And then you have many households that have the extended family, which is like grandparents and so forth. Probably sometimes an uncle or an aunt, mother-in-law, and so forth. So extended family members. Now, when we think of family in a broader sense, sometimes our own friends become our family. Of course, they don't live within the household, usually. But today I want to talk about family within a household. Because my son and I, Arjun and I, were doing some beautiful discussions over the past week. And we were talking about a very important point. How important it is to set our home right first before we get concerned on what's happening outside. Now, mind you, of course, I know you must know what's happening in your country, what's happening in the world. But I really mean, try first to fix yourself. And when you change yourself, with much effort, mind you, slowly but surely, it trickles everywhere. It's just that simple. But don't forget, it needs a lot of effort. Now, when we think about the family within our household, notice that it's a mother, a father, and children living within a household. Now, I might want to be a little biased being a mom, and I want to say to everybody looking at this, if it's a beautiful family out there looking at this, I want to say, it never said it was a mom alone living in the household, okay? It was not a mom. Neither did they say it was a dad alone living in that household. It was a mom, a dad, and the children, okay? Now, living is one. So you definitely are living where it doesn't matter the space of the home. We are living, we are sharing this household. And we want to say, how can we make this family within this household, this nuclear family, how can we make it more beautiful? How can we make it, full of love? A place that you want to be, a place that you want to come home to. So I want to be very practical. I want to be very, very practical. Now, for sure, many of you probably are buying your wives or your kids lovely gifts or whatever. You're probably buying beautiful gifts, probably bringing beautiful roses, or probably cooking a meal at this time of the year. And I salute you for this. This is wonderful. But I want to ask you, what if this Christmas, there are many families probably that don't have this luxury of having their loved ones this Christmas or this time of the year? Why wait, Why wait? I want to tell you that within a household, each person has needs. Each human being wants to be loved. And I could talk for myself. I want to be loved and appreciated. Each one of us wants love. And it's most beautiful to each one of us to share love with others. And don't forget, prior to this talk, I had said, one of the best ways that we are able to share love with others is if we love ourselves. And this may sound interesting to you, but sometimes when I dig deep, and in the past, I truly wonder, did I really, really, really love myself? Okay? And if there are many of you looking at this, I want you to really go spend that time. Spend that time on reflection. And sometimes the things we do for others, the love we give within our family, sometimes we don't spend it individually on ourselves. And as I want to track back there to that point I was making, within a household, it never said in a family that a mother lives there or a father lives there. It says a mother and father together with the children. That is what a family is. And when everybody is living in that household, mind you, what is very important is to realize that a house does not just run. So I want to go to simple things. It doesn't just run, Grocery needs to be made. The house will need to be cleaned. There are things to pack away, clothes to wash. It may seem, minor. But when one individual within this household is left with all the work, it becomes a burden. It becomes very exhausting. It becomes, as I said, no longer joy. And within a household, if every one of us, whether it be a 5-year-old child picking up his toys, whether it be a big son making up his bed, whether it be a father taking out the garbage, believe me, when everything is shared, the home runs much more beautiful, smooth, and somehow we tend to have more, I would say, patience. I know that we are not supposed to have much expectation of others, but we should have much of ourselves. But today I'm talking to each individual within a family. And I'm asking you, ask yourself, have I been contributing in my own way to our household? And more than just, it's not just a household. It's not just brick or board or concrete or whatever it is. It's a home. It's a family. And values and family go together. And it cannot be that one person is doing everything. Then it becomes a burden. When each person has somewhat little things probably to do, then we can all do it joyfully. So a good example would be, let's say I have to do the cooking. Then I will joyfully do the cooking. But then if I had, oh my gosh, I'm in the morning and then I have to think about, I have to get the clothes washed and then I have to do the cooking and then I have to run downstairs because I have to get the clothes ready or it needs to be ironed or whatever it is. When it's too many things, it becomes a burden. And somehow when we have too much things to do, we run out of patience. And in order for all of us to understand each other, sometimes we need to do what the other person is doing. Like for me, now that I'm cooking more, my gosh, I think of my mom so much. It is so much effort. But because I'm doing it joyfully, it's finishing a lot more faster. It's finishing faster. And, I'm happy doing it. But if I have a lot to do, it definitely becomes a task. And within a household, every day can't be all joyful, maybe. But when everybody shares up a task, it is very beautiful. So I want you first, within your house, please reflect. Am I contributing? What am I doing consistently? Am I taking out the garbage? Am I helping my parents? And I shouldn't even say that. Don't look at it as helping your parents. Look at it as helping yourself. You are taking out the garbage because guess what? Garbage can cause disease, We have to live within this household. We have to live. Don't think about it as doing it for another person. Think about it joyfully as adding to your family so that the family too will have more time for other things. Okay, so that's the first very important point. 2, now many of us love different things within the household. So I might like dancing, Arjun might like reading, Anjali might like playing music, Safraz might like watching TV. And each person would have their own little, thing that they like. Ajay loves football. Now, within a family again, what we must do, we need to support each other. A family is where we have the most beautiful expression of being social. It is first within the family where we learn social skills. And a beautiful social skill is to support each other. We don't want to bring down. We want to support. Of course, there will be times where maybe you may lose patience. You may say things that should not have been said. And we should go back quickly and say we are sorry and explain what was the intention. But definitely, we must learn to support household first. So let's say Safraz wants to see Star Wars and I'm not interested. We all should go. And something, if I look deep enough, I might see something that interests me. Or Ajay likes football and I don't want to go in the hot sun and support him. But at least I know that this is what he likes. So we should all go. I love dancing and they want to leave home. They want to leave to go home at a party. But I just want to dance away. So they are there and they're not complaining and they allow me to dance. So we need to truly allow each person within our family to get to express themselves. But not only express themselves, we want to give them support. Like when it was my kids and I remember, if any one of them were doing a particular event, I would tell the rest of them, we have to support. So like if Arjun was doing something at a play, I would say we all have to go, we have to go. Or if Anjali was doing a dance, I would say we all have to go. And we would try our best to support. So please support each other's likes and dislikes. Because again, as I said, each person wants to feel valued. They want to feel loved. And if we, within our family, the family that you love, the family where you go home, the family where we reside, and we cannot support each other, let's not think about what's happening on the outside. Let's focus how we can support better. What it is that your child or your spouse likes. Maybe a surprise, buy some tickets to a game, or, probably go home to your wife and be like, oh, we're going dancing, we're going to learn some Latin for the next 6 weeks, or Safra, you want to watch all the 5 hours of Suits, So do something, that the other person will feel that, it's not all bad to have dislike or dislike. And you shouldn't even feel bad at all, because we all have different likes and dislikes. So you want to feel appreciated and understood. And one way of doing that is supporting. Now, don't only support Christmas, You want to support them throughout the year. It doesn't mean that you need to watch 5 hours of TV with your spouse. No. It doesn't mean that you need to go to every football game. But the other person must know that you care. Now, a powerful thing is that sometimes Afras and I would talk, and we would be saying, it's probably impossible to teach someone to care. But you know what? Forget about teaching someone to care. You care. You think about how you could care more. How you could show your brother or sister you love them. Or how you could show your mom that you appreciate. Or how you could probably spend some time watching one of your dad's favorite old-time movies. Just spend that time in whatever they like, playing a game of Scrabble. Please. So we're talking about support. We already talk about doing our little part with chores or daily activities. We're talking about support. Now, we want to talk about the phone, We really want to talk about the phone. It's something I need to talk about this year. Now, I honestly believe that within this era, the biggest regret of man would be the number of hours spent on the phone. Now, this little device is keeping us away from our families. It is keeping us entertained without speaking at home. It is keeping us away from helping out. It is keeping us away, most of all, from loving ourselves, whether it be exercise, whether it be meditation, whether it be yoga, whether it be just having that quiet time. Because you know what? We're constantly entertained. Now, have you been constantly entertained in 2018? Now, I tell you, it would be very sad that we don't even have the time to connect with our higher self, with our soul. We don't have the time to pray. We will go out there and say, girl, I don't have no time now. I don't have no time to cook, Girl, I don't even have no time. The studies, or if you're a student, you'll be like, the studies killing me. I said, killing me. I can't read out this whole chapter before next week. Or, the amount of hours I work in, I just have to leave my spouse to do everything, yes? I doesn't even have a time. But you know what's sad? You check now. You have time to watch Facebook every minute. You have time to check 1 million messages in the night your phone beeping. You have time for nonsense. No, I ain't say don't be on social media, I never say don't go on your phone, But I tell you, yes, you, within your family, don't let your phone be the reason you're not talking to your wife. Don't let your phone be the reason you don't talk to your husband. Don't let your phone be the reason you don't spend a minute with your son, your daughter, your granddaughter. Don't let your phone be the reason in the night you're not getting a good rest. Don't let your phone be the reason that you did not connect to the divine. Make sure, I tell you, don't let that phone be the biggest regret of your life and this era. So within a family again, the phone is taking preference. It is taking preference over eating meals together. It is taking preference over playing board games. It is taking preference over conversation. It is taking preference over love. So many of you teenagers and children going in your room, you don't even talk to your parents. So many of you. Yeah, don't look at me. So many of you. So many of you wives and husbands have no time. But once your phone go beep, you check the phone. You have time for the phone. So many of you don't even have an hour to love yourself. So many of you would rather stay in your room, on your phone, messaging 100 friends, God knows, talking about nothing of essence, nothing of worth, but then you would say you're busy. Seriously? This is what you want for your life? So I ask you, within your house, each of you, I ask you, put down your phone. Put it down. Eat and enjoy the moment. Talk with each other. Share a beautiful memory. Laugh for no reason with your family. But first you have to have conversation. But the phone take over, you don't even talk. No, I say talk all day. No. You know what it's like when I hear parents tell me their kids messaging them to ask them what they cook? What? I wasn't answering that. That is hurtful. No, I know we should go back to no expectation, but to each of you looking at this, please try to understand the other person who's preparing. Please try to understand the other person. One person wants to reach out to family, but then you just take this, let me say this is the phone. You just take this phone and you just in your own little world. You know, that is correct. Recently, I went out in a store here in Ottawa. So the mother busy shopping, which is great. That's cool. She put his son down and he on the iPad. You know how I fast. What I mean now, fast, friendly. I don't want to say fast, bad word. Friendly. I go on and touch the little boy. I just touch him. You know, that child even watch me. He even look up. He just continue. And you know what? That was sad. We have to change in our homes. We giving our kids these phones. We giving them the iPad from theirs too. But we are not enforcing rules. Within our home, I tell you, family, we parents, we have to set the rules. And teenagers, if you're looking, follow the rules now. One day too, you might be a parent too. One day you might cook the meal. And when everybody come to eat, they're on the phone. They ain't have no time. They ain't tell you, well, it tastes nice. They ain't give you a smile. They just eat and leave. Now, if this happening in your home, please, we have to change. You think I don't have these issues? Of course, Ajay come to eat in the morning. He have his phone. I just say, Ajay, put away that phone. And so we would talk in the morning. Safras come. Safras, just eating a boy. You know? And I constantly. But sometimes just so they go tell me, Safras go tell me, nice baby, see, I have my phone, you know. You ask me where's the time, but me, I have my phone, you know. I have it by the bed charging. But you know, we have to keep at it. But within our family, each one of you, I ain't just saying children, eh? We parents too. You know what we doing? Are we setting a good example? Are we? Chiran, I want all you on the phone, you know. Or let's stop being on our phone. Put on our phone and go and sleep. But check we now. Check we, eh? Put on our phone and go and sleep, all yeah? No, is that correct? If we want to change, we have to change. We put down your phone and take a walk. Put down the phone and eat your food. Put down the phone when you're watching a nice little movie with your family. Oh God, nothing wrong. You know, you go on Facebook a few minutes, but not every second so. Don't let the phone be the biggest regret now. We going outside, we meeting friends. We have time, we meeting friends. We finding so much time for so much different probably activities outside. I don't know what activities you in. But we can't put on the phone in our own house. And I know they say, don't expect, but I'm just saying we need to clean up we house. We home. I shouldn't be saying this house thing. We need to clean up our home. You know? Recently I was looking at something and they say, when a child in their room all the time, they say 2 things has happened to them. They're not getting to share love and they're not being loved. And my second son, Ajay, he liked to be in your room. So I just had to go and love him up in your room. I just have to go because I want him to get love. But I'm making an effort. I'm making an effort to eat with him every morning. So I'll talk with him. And he's put down his phone. I'm not saying it easy. Because technology taking me over. But if we don't start to fix we home, everything fall over. Everything fall down, Because within the home, we parents, we have to come off the phone. We have to put value on time. We have to show our kids that we balancing out the day. We're going to go for a walk and they all come in. Let me go for a walk. I am a mother of kids who are just on the brink of 20, 18 and 16. And it's one of the most beautiful things when I could sit with 3 of them and look at a movie. It's one of the most beautiful things when we could eat a meal together. It's one of the most beautiful things when I say, hey, let me go walk for an hour. But we cannot be the directors in our home and not do it. Do feel I doesn't have my bad days? Of course. I have my bad days. We all do. But it mustn't prolong. And I want to say within our beautiful home, look at this time of the year. Don't let the phone take you away now. Now, I love to take pictures. I want to be a fashionista, I want to be a little model there. I want to be a little diva. But you know what? I will go somewhere and I'll say, you know what? Okay, we walk in. Let me say we're doing a hike. I'll say on the way we're going up, I'm taking some photos on it. And then I'll say, you know what? Coming back for the whole next hour. No photo. We're just enjoying it, When I'm outside, I'm conscious, And I'm not saying that, no, it would be wonderful, to be conscious every moment. But I'm not saying that it's impossible, but we have to start somewhere. And to all of you looking, don't miss out your kids now. I look at my kids and I tell you, if I could go back and change so many things, I would. And what it starts with loving ourselves. Because when we love ourselves, it's going to trickle down to everybody. So we need to love. I know one of the ways to love yourself within the home is to put down that phone. Get to know you. Don't just message your friends and have nothing to say. Don't tell them you're in the toilet or, how your day going just randomly every single day. No. If you have something really of substance or you want to share something that will help them or brighten the day or some beautiful place that you want to meet or a good reason. But don't let this be an addiction. This phone is an addiction. Social media. And within our homes, people don't talk to each other. I have so much friends tell me their teenagers don't even talk, barely talk to them. And I remember I had a time when I had a teenager, he come in and he kissing me and telling me good night. That was Arjun. And I sad. Because each human being, as I said, needs to love and they want to be loved. And how that going to happen when we can't even interact? And when the phone take precedence? And it happened in marriages now too. It's happening within marriages. And I ask you, please, you think it had a year, I would have never be in social media. I remember when I got the first time I had a phone and Safra used to get really upset with me. Oh, you don't answer your phone because I couldn't get used to this gadget. And I think I was in my late 20s probably, mid-20s probably. And he used to be upset, oh, you're not answering your phone. But I guess he being a doctor, he always was accustomed, he having these pagers and these gadgets. So he was okay. But I was like, And then he is the one that bought me an iPad. I didn't even know too much about what was an iPad. And then, this easy way of just touching everything. And then I realized it was addictive. And I spent so much time. And when I reflect, sometimes I think I was exhausted and I was just on the couch, just keep staying there for hours. And it took so much time away. And ask yourself, what did you do with all that time before? So before we can love anyone in our home, we need to spend time with us. Each teenager needs time. They need time to clear their head. They need time. And the only way we can do that is if everyone sort of like I would want to say the elder ones within the home, if we set the tone. We have to set the tone. Like one thing I've started doing, I feel at like 10, the phone should probably be left outside the bedroom. And you can even put it on flight mode. One of my friends taught me this. So that every minute, that constant buzz, Sleep is a whole next story. A proper night rest will make all of us, more jolly in the morning, more patient, more loving. But when we're tired and exhausted, everybody gonna just snap at each other, And when you have this constant ding, like bzz, whatever it is with the phone, you're constantly agitated. Sometimes I make a little joke and I say, oh my gosh, you can imagine when we have to answer to the Almighty, for those of us who believe in a higher power. Imagine you say, oh, I didn't get time, but I had 5 hours a day on my phone. I mean, come on. So we need to start a little more off the phone and more with our children, or more with our family, or more time with your mom. Don't wait for something to happen and be like, oh my gosh. Don't live with regret. Notice I'm spending a lot of time on this phone because I don't want the phone or social media to be your biggest regret. Don't live in that home and don't even know your spouse. Don't live in that home and say you have no time and don't share love. Don't live in that home and rob your own self of love because you'd rather be on a gadget. Okay? Also, I know that a lot of parents, and I would say children too, they definitely help. And we have some wonderful, I think all children are wonderful, And each person in their own way will feel that they are sacrificing in some way or another. And my Ottawa mom said to me not too long ago that, Anita, we choose this, I wouldn't look at taking care of my children as sacrifice, because we chose this life, That's our duty. But on one side of it, definitely it's our duty. But I still know it's beautiful to be appreciated. And I want to say to those children and to those parents, please give acknowledgement to the effort, Sometimes we take our mothers for granted, washing clothes, cooking, cleaning, or we take our spouse. Like after going through a lot of turmoil, I value Safra's workload a lot more now because he has to listen to a lot. He has to listen to